I'ma roll with the click, ooh. I keep a pole in the whip. I switch the swag with legit, and boy, you know I got the drip. These haters mad cause I'm lit. But watch your girl take a sip, bitch. I'ma roll with the click.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of On Par with Parish. I am your host, Parish Hodges, and today my very special guest is music artist Big Large. Hi.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Now, your stage name is Big Large. So, I know what it means, but what made you make that your stage name?
Well, I mean, it was dawned to me, from, a big homie of mine. So, like back in the day, I used to do all these freestyle albums. Like I would go in and we would just like, we're not going to write anything, take industry beats and just do our own freestyles. And he would mix them down and stuff. And then he was listening to it and he's like, yo, nah, you Big Large. He said, that's your new name. And he comes in, but he's just like talking to me like, he's just talking with the name, what's going on, Big Large? And I'm like, yo, why do you keep saying that? He says, cause that's your name, yo, you Big Large. And I'm like, so there it is. It just stuck from there. So,
Yeah, it just stuck. Okay. So your debut album, Trap and R&B, is coming out this Friday. So tell us a little bit about it and what inspired you to create this album.
well, the trap and R&B thing, I've been really, in my own sense, perfecting it for like last 2 or 3 years, and is way more songs, that were supposed to go on this album. But I decided that we're gonna do like three. We already started on the next one already. So, but it's really just it's infusing, R&B elements, rap, hip hop, taking your pain, your experiences, and then infusing into that music. And there's no guideline that says you gotta rap, or you gotta sing. You can do what you feel. You want to harmonize. You could be just spitting some heavy bars, and you just feel like it's time for you to just come in and just hum something, and you got to do it because it's that moment calling you. So, I took a very different approach, with this project. So, yeah.
Mm. So during this process, what was the creative process like? Did you face any difficulties or challenges?
Not really. I mean, you know, I don't like to force anything, so, it got to be that right vibe. But, one thing I always remember, like my mom, when I was younger, I wanted to rap. She was all like, you want to rap? You want to rap? She made me sit down, put all these records out. Curtis Mayfield, Bobby Womack, Barry White, Al Green. So my process, I want to go back. And that's what I did. I started listening to like, Bobby Womack, 110th Street, Curtis Mayfield. I want to go to a different element. And she was like, that was the rappers before, like the current school. So I want to take a different element, and those guys could say something, sing it, and it sounds really good because they're singing it. But when you rap something, it sounds rough, So you take away that element when you combine the two, because if you want something to be, I don't want it to be that rough. I want you to feel it differently. So I can sing that part to you instead. So
Yeah.
hold it. Yes, definitely.
Okay. So let's take it back for a moment. You've been doing this a pretty good while. And in your career, you've collaborated with many people and you've even been in musical groups. You were part of Easy Illusions and Three Deep. And now that you're a solo artist, how has your musical style evolved?
Um, well, for me, I learned how to become very independent as an artist. A lot of my early material, I had a lot of features and stuff like that, and but I wanted to build my own catalog. And what I did was I sat down and I freestyled, and I wanted to freestyle. I wanted beats. Like for me, I know if I'm going to go on something within like 20 seconds, because see, I don't look for anything that I want to call me. And if you call me, I'm going. So that's my process. And so that's how I started, like, as far as my solo stuff, just play a beat. If it calls me, you know what? let's take that journey because you're speaking to me.
Mhm.
So if you're speaking to me, I'm going to speak back. And that's how my solo material, how I built my solo material coming out as a solo artist. But it was a great experience to be in the groups because it helped me develop as an artist. I learned, and it just made me a better artist, as a solo artist being in a group.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned, a good beat. I love a song that has a good beat. I love a good
Absolutely.
instrumental.
Absolutely.
So, do you
Absolutely.
have like a favorite instrumental? It's so
um,
many, I know. Oh my gosh, just so many.
Man, oh man. I have a few to be honest. Like, to be honest, like the thing is with me, I'll get into a producer that I like. See, and I look for consistency.
Hmm.
So if I like find that, I'll just, dive into that. What's this guy's name? Oh my God. He did two songs in the album, and to be honest, like the song was not going to make the album because he had took it down. Oh man, I can't remember his name. Oh, it was a little while. Oh my goodness, I'm going to remember the name. Oh my goodness. So, but I just was like, you know what? He had no way to be reached. So I just hit him on Instagram. I was like, yo, bro, man, I'll be honest with you, man. This song right here, this is like has to be on the album, man. You know what I'm saying? I see you took it down. So he's like, yo, you hit me for the beat. I was like, yeah. I was like, definitely, man. Want it for the project. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like, I mean, I said I got something else to go. So I'm always prepared, but I'm reaching out before I do that.
Hmm.
And so he just came through. He ended up doing two beats on the album. You know what I'm saying? And he's talented, man. I like a lot of the young producers out here. Like I like the energy. You know, but I'd be looking for beats that take me there. I'm not, I'm looking for beats that like have instruments and like things that pianos, guitar, stuff like that. Things that you're just not really like, you're not just thinking like the just okay you're just out of the box. You know what I'm saying? You should
Yeah.
be able to just whenever you feel like it. Like you could take something like I was just chilling the other day and I was like, this is how my process is. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, thinking about different little tunes and you know, my roommate was like, "Yo, you had this song. Can you speak?" And I'm just like, I fell in love with a girl, yeah, and that's just how it goes. I'm just a thug on a stroll. You know what I'm saying? Just, just,
Yeah.
just, just vibing. You know what I'm saying? See, when you vibe that way, you just let it be natural. I don't like to force anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I don't like to hate on nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you do that, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I support you. You know what I'm saying? But I know when I step in with how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in
Yeah.
my element. Okay? So, yeah.
Your voice is beautiful, by the way.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it definitely
Thank you.
makes me think of like old school R&B artists. You have
Yeah.
that like old school feel. I don't know. I can't explain it, but you have that old school feel to me. I
Appreciate
still
that.
listen to old school R&B, so yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I
You're
appreciate it.
very welcome. So apart from trap and R&B, your other projects, Rockstar Status in the game ain't easy.
Mhm.
Now, are those out yet or are they coming?
They're coming. To be honest, Rockstar Status is done. It's been done for a while. So it's just really because I just been so consumed with trap and R&B
Uh-huh.
that I'm gonna run with trap and R&B. I'm already started on the second one, and then we'll just and we'll before we drop the third, I want to drop. I'll drop Rockstar Status. But it's done. It's done. The game ain't easy. It's I'm gonna say it's about 60% done, but Rockstar Status is done. It's yeah.
Okay. So, what can we expect from those releases, and how's it going to be different from trap and R&B?
Well, Rockstar Status is like the beginning roots of trap and R&B. So this is like where I decided to really go on wax and experiment with that style. And I took one song from Rockstar Status and it's on Trap and R&B. And the reason I did that was because I had some fans online who reached out like, is that going to be on the song? I have a song called On the Road, and that's from Rockstar Status. So I said, you know what? If your fans are asking, you know what, I'm gonna appease them. So I put it on Trap and R&B. So On the Road is on there. That's really, and because Rockstar Status is like 18 songs. So I may trim it down, it's just how I feel, So
Mhm. So okay, so this is almost like an album trilogy, like Trap and R&B, it's like the main event, and then Rockstar Status is like the prequel to Trap and R&B, and the Game Ain't Easy is like the sequel, maybe. I don't
uh I'm gonna say the Game Ain't Easy is probably a different project. It's more hip hop
know.
than
Ah,
so it's more hip hop, and because of that, I don't really put it into the trilogy, because it's a whole different element. Like, you know, so when I drop that, it's going to be what I'm doing is it's going to be more hip hop. There's not going to really be a lot of singing on there, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? The Game
mhm.
Ain't Easy is just a completely different element. I was a different artist at that time, but I'm still going to release it. You know, at that point, I was not doing any singing, not on wax at least, So it's just me rapping, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? It was I was in a whole different headspace, different style. Like I have a whole bunch of different styles, and I try to capture those in that time zone because sometimes when I go back to different styles, they be like, oh, it feels old, or I'll be like, I did that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I could do something better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a perfectionist, so I like to perfect everything I do. So you know,
I can tell you are, and there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a good thing. So, what message or feeling do you hope your listeners take away from trap and R&B?
Well, I hope they take. I want them to be unapologetic. See, the thing is, in life is going to throw you, blows or whatever. It's how we move around it and everything. But at the pinnacle, like of getting to your success or even reaching there, or just being intelligent or being successful at something you do, you shouldn't have to apologize for that. You shouldn't have to say, well, like if you step somewhere and someone says, man, you're very smart, man, that's pretty cool. You shouldn't say, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm intelligent, So I was in California and I did this show and I'm leaving and this Uber driver's, taking me back to my Airbnb and he's like, I'm taking words from people just randomly. What is your word of the day? I said, be unapologetic. And he looked at me and says, why did you say that? I said, okay. I said, you're a writer, right? Can you apologize when you're writing your articles? He says, but they got to edit it. I said, yeah, but you know the original version, right? Yeah, they may edit it, but you're the original copy. You're the carbon copy. They can edit whatever they want to edit. So write it the right way, unapologetically, and then let your publisher edit it or whatever, But at the end of the day, you still have the carbon copy. Be
Yeah.
unapologetic.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that was deep.
Yeah, so,
That was good.
yeah.
Oh my God. Now,
So.
where can we find your music? Is it on all streaming services?
It's on all streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, whatever. I'm everywhere. You know, yeah, yeah.
And for those who want to follow you, what's your social media?
I'm larger than life 83 on Instagram. Yeah, I think on. I don't even be using Twitter. Just follow me on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
nobody uses Twitter anymore. No
Somebody
one.
asked me for the Twitter. I couldn't remember it. I was like, oh, hey, IG, larger than life 83. So
So, do you have any upcoming shows?
I do have a show December 9th. With this is Jay Coachman's one of his events that we're doing. It's like the end of the year bash. It's gonna be we had a great time. The I Am Poetry, that was lit, all the poets, the artists. So this is going to be like, something similar to that. A lot of poets, a lot of artists, it's going to be like an end of the year bash. I'm excited about that. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any last words or anything you want the people to know?
Um, I do want to just give a big shout out. I have one feature on the album, uh, Tony Laveau, from Jacksonville. I just want to give her a big shout out for being on the album, you know. And I just want to, everybody just come out, support the album. Listen, it's gonna be epic. It's trap and R&B. You know, that's my gift. I want to share with everybody. So
I'm gonna roll with the click. Yeah. I'm gonna roll with the click.